All right, Chris, thank you. A cell phone seized by the FBI has thrust a colorful and controversial New Orleans character into a possible role as a key government witness in the federal investigation of Mayor Cantrell. Investigative reporter Mike-Perlstein has confirmed that political networker Fouad Zeton has already played a major part in the case that led to the indictment of his one-time associate, contractor Randy Farrell. Farrell is accused of bribing the mayor to get a city official fired. Zeton is portrayed as the middleman in the bribery scheme, and he could play a much bigger role for prosecutors if they choose to use him.
Our new champion for the mayor of the city of New Orleans, Latoya Cantrell.
Already a larger-than-life figure from his days as a boxer called the Syrian Destroyer, a contractor called Fred the Painter, a political campaign donor, and more recently a convicted felon, Fouad Zeton is back in the spotlight. The 63-year-old Zeton is listed as businessman one in the federal indictment of Randy Farrell, the contractor accused of giving Mayor Latoya Cantrell bribes to get her to fire a city official who was investigating Farrell's company, IECI. Cantrell is listed in the indictment as public official one, but her relationship with Zeton goes back much further than her dealings with Farrell.
Come on now, Fouad.
You know, Mayor Cantrell would have fundraisers at the Magnolia Mansion facility that is Zeton's.
Here's Cantrell describing Zeton in an exclusive interview with Katie Moore in December 2023.
I would say that he has been a friend to political officials throughout the city of New Orleans.
As for Zeton's connection to Farrell, that was laid out by federal prosecutors through alleged text messages between the two men in 2019. Farrell's indictment quotes him texting Zeton, "Tell public official one to can that be?" And Zeton responding, "I promise you, Randy, I'm working hard on this issue." And later, "She will be gone sooner than you think." The indictment then includes an alleged text from Zeton to Cantrell, "Thank you so much for handling safety and permit problem." Within months, Jennifer Cecil, Deputy Director of Safety and Permits, was gone.
You know, from all intents and purposes, he's the middleman go-between in this.
2 years later, in 2021, Zeton became the target of a separate federal investigation into insurance fraud. Zeton claimed that several valuable paintings were stolen from his home. He later confessed that the theft was completely fabricated, an elaborate scam.
During the course of that investigation involving Zeton and the art fraud claim, they discover evidence of additional crimes. That changes the dynamics of all of this.
According to Rafael Goyeneche of the Metropolitan Crime Commission and several sources familiar with the case, that evidence came from Zeton's cell phone after it was seized by the FBI. In addition to evidence in the art case, the feds found text exchanges with both Farrell and Cantrell.
The thing that is, I think, critically important with what Zeton is providing is the fact that they have his cell phone records. And his cell phone records are going to substantiate and confirm his testimonial evidence as well.
Last year, Zeton pled guilty in the art fraud case. And now looming critical in the Cantrell investigation is this plea agreement letter signed by Zeton, part of which states that the defendant, quote, agrees to submit to interviews whenever and wherever requested by law enforcement authorities. Multiple sources confirm that Zeton has in fact cooperated in that case and could be tapped at any time to tell what he knows about Farrell and Cantrell. Longtime criminal defense attorney Craig Murdoch said that the feds seizing Zeton's phone was a gold mine for them.
They were able to link all that together, and they have confirmation of what a lot of people thought happened through Zeton's phone.
In Farrell's indictment, prosecutors accused him of bribing the mayor with Saints tickets, a steak lunch, and an iPhone. Zeton is listed at the center of all of those exchanges. Farrell's attorney, Rick Simmons, did not deny the offerings, but characterized them very differently in proclaiming his client's innocence at his arraignment.
We don't think that they're a bribe. What we're talking about is a luncheon for 6 people for $800. And the Saints tickets, the Saints tickets, what, a dozen tickets to the mayor, who probably can go to any one of the suites in the stadium.
That's really where Zeton is going to have some value, because he's going to be able to link up the gifts the tickets and Jennifer Cecil's firing.
Cantrell has not been indicted. If she is, Zeton's role could range from merely confirming the contents of his phone to becoming a star witness during a trial. But the scenario of Zeton testifying could also be problematic for the feds.
Anytime a witness has prior convictions and they take the stand, of course the government has to contemplate that when they put that witness on, his credibility will be challenged.
And criminal conviction is something that defense attorneys love beating up cooperating witnesses on.
With Cantrell clearly implicated in the Randy Farrell indictment, it is now a waiting game as to what happens next and what role Fouad Zeton might play in this dramatic turn of events. Mike Perlstein, WWL, Louisiana.
And based on the timeline of accusations against Farrell and his indictment, federal prosecutors could be many months away from hitting the statute of limitations and possibly taking action against the mayor. Meanwhile, Farrell's attorney has vowed a flurry of pretrial motions to try and get the charges against his client thrown out. We reached out to Zeton's attorney, but he declined to comment.